Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever tried to use AI to learn something complex, you've probably hit a wall pretty fast. Maybe you started strong, right? But eventually the AI just kind of lost the thread and you ended up totally frustrated. Well, today, we're uncovering ChatGPT's secret for better study. We're going to explore a hidden feature that literally takes your messy, chaotic conversations and transforms them into a beautifully streamlined productivity hub. It's called ChatGPT Projects, and whether you're tackling a tough university degree or just upskilling for a promotion, this is absolutely going to organize your entire AI life.
So, have you ever felt that sinking frustration of constantly repeating yourself to an AI? Picture this for a second. You're gearing up to study for a critical make-or-break final exam. You open a brand new chat, you're ready to conquer the material, and suddenly you realize you have to start completely from scratch. You've got to explain your current knowledge level all over again, you have to re-upload your massive syllabus, all those dense reading materials, and you have to endlessly remind it exactly how you want your study questions formatted. It is completely exhausting. The context just disappears into that massive chaotic history tab of yours, and your valuable study time is wasted just doing administrative setup.
So the crucial point is the difference between being a scattered beginner and an organized power user. Think about a normal chat for a moment. It's essentially an isolated island. The conversation happens, and then that context eventually just fades right into the history tab abyss. Your PDFs are scattered across a dozen different threads, and you're constantly copying and pasting your custom instructions just to keep the AI on track. It's basically a tornado of information. But an organized project? Now that is a unified, self-contained ecosystem. All of your related chats, your highly specific files, and your overarching strict instructions stay perfectly connected together in one dedicated space.
To truly grasp how powerful this is, think of a normal chat like a passing conversation at a super noisy, crowded coffee shop. You talk for a bit, you leave, and the next day the barista has completely forgotten your name and your complicated order. You're always starting at zero. A project, on the other hand, is like having a private, dedicated, locked office. You and your AI tutor are sitting in that room, totally focused on a long-term mission. Everything you need for that specific, complex goal, all the rich context, the history of your previous chats, the foundational source files, lives permanently right there in that room waiting for you whenever you unlock the door. Okay, let's dive into this and make it highly practical. We are going to unlock ChatGPT's secret for better study by building your ultimate AI study room right now. Imagine you're trying to master a complex programming language, like Python, or maybe you're finally tackling conversational French. Setting up this specific workspace is going to completely change how you absorb and retain information. Instead of fighting the tool, you're going to mold the tool to become the perfect, personalized teacher that knows exactly where you are in your learning journey.
Here's exactly how we set this up to guarantee success. Step 1, you just navigate over to create a new project. Takes one click. Step 2, you need a highly focused name. Let's just call ours Learn AI for now. The name keeps you mentally anchored. For step 3, you're going to add your specific project instructions. We'll dive deep into those in a second. But this is basically the brain of the whole operation. Step 4, upload all your relevant files. And finally, step 5, start your conversation. By taking, maybe 2 minutes to do this, you aren't just firing off a quick prompt. You're launching a comprehensive, long-term learning environment.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real secret sauce: custom instructions. When you set up this workspace, you can tell your project, "You are my AI tutor and curriculum designer. Teach me from beginner to advanced. Use simple explanations, give practical examples, and heavily test my understanding." By doing this, you're completely reprogramming its baseline behavior. You aren't just blindly asking questions anymore. You're establishing strict teaching rules. Because these instructions are permanently baked right into the project itself, every single chat you open inside this workspace is going to automatically, flawlessly follow these exact teaching parameters that literally transforms a generic chatbot into a rigorous professor.
Next up, let's talk about the files. This is where you create a deep, permanent brain for your study sessions. You can drop in your course outline, your specific learning goals, your rough handwritten notes, and even those dense 50-page textbook PDFs. By uploading these directly into the project, they become part of the AI's foundational knowledge for this specific goal. It is an incredibly magical feeling when you just open a chat on a random Tuesday morning and casually ask, "Hey, based on my course outline and the notes I took last week, what specific topic should I review today?" It just knows exactly what you're talking about. No re-explaining necessary.
Now, while this is undeniably ChatGPT's secret for better study, its versatility goes way further. Here are 5 projects literally everyone can build today. First, study, which we're focusing on utilizing your lecture notes and textbooks. Second, Business. You can upload your raw sales data and old business plans to have the AI identify hidden growth opportunities. Third, content creation. Imagine a project where you store all your past video scripts and your overall strategy so the AI nails your voice perfectly every time. Fourth, the job search. Keep your master resume and cover letter template securely in one place to customize applications in seconds. And fifth, learning a new physical skill or hobby, just dumping all your scattered research into one place to build a custom roadmap.
Let's talk about the hidden engine making all of this frictionless workflow possible, project memory. Conceptually, this is a feature that keeps ChatGPT firmly anchored to the specific context of your workspace. In a normal chat environment, context eventually scatters, it drifts, and it fades away entirely. But in a project, the related context stays tightly bounded together. Now, a quick aside on this, just to manage expectations. Actually, do not mistake this for perfect, infinite memory. It still needs gentle reminders every now and then, but it successfully creates a highly localized memory bubble. The AI stays relentlessly focused on the specific conversations happening inside those specific walls.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that whenever you create a new project, setting strong guardrails is absolutely non-negotiable. Don't just leave the instruction box blank. You need to define the role, define the goal, and set strict rules. Tell it explicitly, do not invent facts, and tell me when info is missing. The absolute last thing you want is your AI tutor hallucinating a historical date or a complex math formula right before a massive final exam. By setting these strict boundaries at the project level, you drastically reduce hallucinations and ensure your AI tutor remains highly practical, remarkably accurate, and deeply reliable for your actual studies.
Even with a fantastic tool, it's surprisingly easy to make mistakes when you're just starting out. Let's look at a few common ones and how to fix them instantly. The most common? Leaving your instructions completely empty. Fix that immediately with the master template rules we just discussed. Another big one is mixing unrelated goals. You definitely do not want to accidentally upload your personal tax returns into your French language study project, right? Keep it to one extremely clear goal per workspace. Also, don't assume it has perfect memory. Gently remind it of the context if it strays. And if you have outdated files in the workspace, swap them for new ones. Keep that environment clean and strictly focused on your final outcome. Let's bring all these moving parts together into one incredibly simple formula. When you intentionally combine your ongoing chats, your specific uploaded files, those custom overarching instructions, and that bounded project context, you get a truly organized AI workspace. You are no longer just aimlessly chatting with an AI, hoping for a good response. You're actively collaborating within a customized, highly focused environment that is designed specifically for your long-term success. It is the ultimate shift from being a passive user to an active architect of your own learning.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. What will your first ChatGPT project be for? Will you use this secret for better study to absolutely crush your next academic semester? Are you going to organize a messy business idea? Or maybe dive into something else entirely? Take these concepts we've explored today and go build your first dedicated workspace, because the way this tool uses memory to adapt to you over time, becoming more intuitive with every single prompt, well, that is a fascinating rabbit hole all on its own. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy learning.